to IS301. I'm Professor Fahmi Jalani. Today we'll be talking about information organization. So here we have the paradigm of information organization. We have classification, tagging, and search. Classification is technically a process of organizing a domain of items such as semantic seam. Item instances are classified into categories, classes by a person or system. All parties shares a common scheme of for consistency and clarity, which make it ideal for high value information. As for tagging, it's a process of assigning a term or phrase to an item. Every person uses their own non-systematic tag scheme, which they generally make up as they go along. Tagging is most effective in personal collection of information. Some example, we see that in Instagram, where they do hashtag. Search is the multi-stage process of reducing a group of unstructured documents into structured data and then match the data to a human query. Search is most effective in huge collection of disorganized information. So some of the attributes for classification, we have taxonomy and thesaurus. Taxonomy, strict concept hierarchy. We are exclusive, comprehensive, and inheritance. Thesaurus, attributes of taxonomy, and their synonyms, their similarity. Some of the strength, they are destructive of the domain, exhaustive, and co-location of similar item, yet unlimited in scale. Apparently, their weakness is expensive to not only to create but also to maintain. Very rigid perspective and application, not scalable in terms of growth and change. You need an expert, a trained expert, if you require it to scale. So the facet, for example, taxonomy usually classify everything in as a domain along a single axis. You see the similarity are quite the same as you go along the line. Poly hierarchy is made of multiple mutually exclusive taxonomy, and it's basically a facet, like many sides of the diamond. For example, here they say automobile, like it could have multiple brand, multiple body type, multiple category, multiple classes, things like that. Standard asset, facet, subject, asset, use, and relation. Take a look at it. Here we have subject. Its intrinsic properties such as what was the subject discussed, geographical coverage, companies mentioned. Okay. Assets, intrinsic properties, the author, for example, title, language, social security, barcode. What's the use? Omission and audience, for example, intended for children aged 9 to 12, professional with advanced degree, for example. For example, you require a special need teacher, for example, restricted to senior management and author and subscriber. This is could be some information that to be distributed. Non-subscriber can access only abstract. You could probably watch the trailer of a movie rather than the whole movie, for example. Relations, connection to other objects. People who bought this book also bought this other book. So you see that, for example, in Amazon, for example, when you buy a certain product, they will suggest you another product that is similar. If you are researching electric cars, you might want to look at hybrid car, for example. Then you see that quite familiar. Applied, anywhere people need excellent co-location of similar item. This is to ensure professional cataloging, okay? In terms of research, business, government and libraries. So we have here we have guidelines. For example, specific rules technically apply to more specific terms while tagging asset. Specific terms can also be generalized, but generic terms cannot be specialized. Repeatable rules, all attributes should be repeatable. Use as many terms as necessary to describe what the asset is about, why is it important, shortage, storage is cheap, and recreating content is expensive. Appropriateness rule, not all attributes apply to all asset. Only supply values for attributes that make sense. Usability rule, anticipate how the asset will be searched for in the future and how to make it easy to find. Remember that search engine can only operate on explicit information. Next, we take a look at tagging. Here we have the attributes. Technically, it's a non-controlled vocabulary where users usually create their own terms or word. It's informal, personal, although sometimes seems social. At times, it's quite messy. This is concept model, a person tagging an item, for example. Also commonly used for social tagging. For example, Yahoo, Properties, Delicious, Flickr.com. Okay. Allow people to see other tags. And it's self-conscious, intentional group tag, copying another tag, or tag spamming, they call it. It's quite common where we see it's being used for advertising, for example. Types of tag: description, categorization, opinions, action, relation, insider references, and spam. Strength is not only easy, it's cheap. You can personalize it. Rapid adaptation, infinite scalable, it's really multi-language. Weakness, it's not exhaustive. Technically, you can scale it. No inheritance, no relation from one to another, weak correlation of similar items, variable qualities. where is it applied? Usually amateurs try to organize when they have a lot of time. Serendipitous searching of or browsing, redefinability, for example, collection and shared resources. And next we take a look at search. Search, the basic search engine mediates between user and query, and metadata surrogates for documents. Documents are reduced to metadata when, for example, you do a Google search. You need to translate into a query. Usually, user will type in one or two words that they think is related to what they are looking for, and from there the query try to find a matching data, metadata. Okay? And at times there's tend to be less accuracy, right? For example, if a person is looking for a bank, how does the query knows that it's not looking for a river bank, for example? Process, like most search engine, especially Google, they do a spider crawl, for example. Items are indexed, right? And they are ranked the most search to be the top. Algorithm, as formula states, term-based ranking, TF, term frequency, is divided by inverse document frequency. So assumption could be relevance of document terms. Algorithm 2, PageRank, it's quite common use found in Google. Relevant terms matching, involving in a ranking. Okay, as document changes content, they will be ranked the top. Important sites, for example, many people like to click on the link, for example. How to improve, best bet, relevance, feedback, search, classification, and it could be some of the codes they put in metadata, for example. Basically, for best bet is menu select search result. Okay, uses even phases, traffic, easy win, return maybe diminish. Okay. Commonly found in business driven phrases. Relevant feedback more like this. For example, look at the example here, Jaguar the car, or Jaguar the cat. Okay. Could be structured search, zip code or product name, and last but not least, we have search and classification. Lead in synonym, and for example, you enter fridge, you get refrigerator instead. Enter refrigerator, you get fridge. There are for term expansion, spell check, and also classification of documentation in metadata. So that's pretty much it for the class for information organization. If you have any question, please feel free to email me and or drop by my office. Stay safe and thank you very much. Bye bye.